It's day 3 of sewing my dream wedding dress, but it's actually been a week, so I only have 5 weeks left to finish this dress. I got all my materials in the mail. Unfortunately, the couture was a little bit softer than what I wanted, so I'm going to use this canvas instead. I got some wool interfacing to make the corset cover smooth, and I got a nice heavyweight invisible zipper and some zip ties to use as boning. And of course, my beautiful silk came in that I am so ecstatic to work with. I got plenty so that if I make a mistake, I can do it again, but I'm hoping to have enough to make a big bow on the back of the dress. The mock-up was looking great until I accidentally ruined it by adding this twill tape. All of the wrinkling that you see here on the front was not there before I added those extra seams. Here on this side seam where I didn't add twill tape, it's perfectly smooth and lies much flatter. I'm going to make the seam allowances of the final version longer so that I'll have enough room to add all the boning channels with the seam allowance. I was super careful when I drew out my pattern pieces, adding that extra centimeter of seam allowance so that I'd be working with about 3/4 of an inch. And I cut everything out. It took a really long time. And then I carefully sewed everything together. First, I sewed each piece in pairs and ironed them, and then I stitched those pairs together from there until I had the entire corset assembled. It looks rough right now, but trust the process because once I add the boning, everything's going to come together. I left the edges raw to reduce bulk and because it's going to be internal to the corset, but I did pink them so that everything lays smooth. And you can see here that it sure does. I feel like this is an absolutely perfect fit. I'm really happy with the way that the straps I drafted turned out. I was too excited tonight, so I had to just stick some zip ties in there and try it on. But I think it looks really stunning. I barely have any wrinkles. I have one here under one side of my bust because asymmetry is a thing. And then a little bit on the side of the hip, but other than that, I think it looks really great. And here it is with all the other layers. I feel like a princess already, and honestly, I am feeling so ready to just walk down the aisle already. Follow along for part 4 where I show how I made the bodice nice and smooth so that none of the boning channels show through the final fashion fabric.